University with the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. You can go ahead and get us started. Okay. But I can remember when I graduated from Mississippi State University with the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. And I can remember how proud, it was like 3 of us in the entire school. And I can remember how proud people were of the fact that, you're an engineer. My mother was very proud. A lot of folks were very proud. But come to think about it, I was an educated fool. How is it that I graduated from Mississippi State with a Bachelor of Science degree in engineering? I'm a college-educated man. And I couldn't tell you 100 words about what it was to be a black man in America. That brother who just gave that wonderful poem, you really can't feel what he's saying if you don't know the struggles in this country. Now, when I talk to you about struggle, it's one thing to say struggle. My brothers and sisters from the Naval Academy, midshipmen, stand. When I talk about struggle, and we talk about legacy, we say many times, we got here on the shoulders of others. See, this year, the National Society of Black Engineers is going to have the esteemed pleasure of honoring the first African American to ever graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy, Wesley A. Brown, in 1949. This brother is still alive. When I saw him, even when I mentioned his name as I speak to you now, if I had no shirt, you see goosebumps on my body. Oh, no, it's not that you laugh about it. I'm talking about you looking at a man who fought obstacles that many of us, first of all, you got to understand what it is to go to the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis. You don't just skip up in there and decide one day, you got to be the best of the best. You're looking at our best. So imagine what it must have been like for Wesley A. Brown on the campus of Annapolis, studying engineering. What it must have been like for him to graduate. But because he graduated, we have him. That's what legacy is. And so I'm very honored that this National Society of Black Engineers is going to present Wesley A. Brown our Golden Torch Legacy Award. So you all be on time. No, I'm not. And you know what? Do me a favor before you go. Could you take that down? And there's another picture I want to bring up when I want to talk about legacy, because we've been talking about Barack, and I want to show you. No, I'm sorry. Just there you go. Every year for a year, law enforcement killed a black man, and nobody. He was right. It was a predictable outcome from the judge and jury. Justifiable homicide. Well, when this black man became president of NAACP, there was a new breed of brother standing before them. This one was educated, but this one wasn't educated just traditionally. He was educated about his history. And that history made me realize that there were people who paid an ultimate price for us to be here. And I resonated and I felt their spirit. And I decided nobody in King County was going to be comfortable if my people was uncomfortable. This shit gonna stop. It's gonna stop now. So I want you to understand something. I was an engineer for King County. I shut a freeway down because of King County. I got arrested because of King County. That's just like I'm being a professor at NYU and I'm protesting NYU. People say, Carl, you gonna bite the hand that feeds you? I said, if that hand is wrong, you damn skippy, I'm gonna bite. There was no price that I would not pay. So I want you to understand, this is why Barack's election was so much sweeter. You know, and I'm not saying mine Now, it was sweeter to me than it was to you. But this represents why it was sweet to me, which is why we should love who we are as a people. All this nonsense of not speaking to each other, killing each other, not wanting to work together. All that's nonsense. That's divisiveness. Why was Barack's election so sweet? What's my last name, family? See, Rose Eva Mack. That's my mama. I was born in 1962. I was 3 years old, and my mother had to pay poll tax. Now, y'all been hearing about poll tax, right? This is my mother's poll tax card. That means that my mother, in order to vote, she had to pay $2 to vote. She had to pay $2 to exercise what should have been her American right in this country. But not only did she have to pay $2, my mother had to take a literacy test from somebody who probably could read better than her. So when Barack was elected, I pulled this thing out. I was rubbed out. Matter of fact, I was rubbing this thing the whole time. When he won Iowa, I was like, damn. That's a little bit of why. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Now, the pictures that you see here, these are from a calendar. Remember the day like yesterday. It was August 16, 1990. It's like God that just spoke to me. And he gave me the concept of creating a Black History calendar. Now, you see how most Black History calendars would have like one person on the month, and the other days they would say Marshall Taylor was born on this day. He's like, well, who is Marshall Taylor? With this calendar, every day of the year, this is the typical page from the calendar. And I spent like 2.5 years researching this thing, day and night. I didn't go out and do nothing but just research. And it was just changing my life. It was messing me up. I was going crazy. I was thinking about all the dumb stuff I used to do and the dumb things I used to say and the dumb things I used to feel. And all of a sudden I began to understand why. I understood why a little black boy went to Mississippi State. I knew nothing about engineering. And I'm sitting in that class scared, crazy. I can't even spell thermodynamics. And I'm sitting there. I'm hearing my little white friends asking the professor about the second law of enthalpy. I'm like, you know that feeling of inferiority that was hitting me, but now when I was studying all this history, I began to understand because I understood what was happening to us as a people. I was purging myself of all the menticide. Menticide is a systematic, deliberate destruction of a person or a group's mind. They've been playing with your mind, teaching you to hate one another, indoctrinating us with a sickness. And it all started, the playground for it all was ignorance. When you don't know, oh, it is the most powerful of diseases. But when you know, that's when you understand your greatness, when you know. So this was a calendar that I did. Black Heritage Day. And of course, this was the genesis of it. There was a white guy that I worked with named Henry Cody. Cody was a beautiful brother too. I mean, beautiful brother. No, because I don't define brothers and sisters by color. Because I know some black folks that will cut your ass to the white meat whole thing twice in about. And I know some white folks who just gave their lives. As a matter of fact, my dad, I remember when my daddy drank all the time. God bless him. My daddy used to get tore up from the floor. I mean, I didn't like it. But I understand, because I don't know. When I say this to you, let me do a little therapy. I need this. I didn't like my daddy growing up. I didn't, because he used to drink all the time. He used to come home and beat up my mother. And my mother had, she taught us what divorce was. And it was a good thing because my mother saved saved either his ass or our ass, because somebody was going to get hurt. You can hit a lot of folks. And you know, it's two words in the black community that'll start a fight with it. Your mom. But as I got older, I learned to love my father, because my father maybe wasn't the best man I wanted him to be, but he was the best man he could be. I don't know what it was like as a black man growing up in Mississippi with 3 boys during them times. Maybe alcohol was a way for him. I learned to do that. That's maturation. So I love my father. Might not have been there. Damn it, he was. He was the best man I know. I love my father. So anyway, back to Cody. Henry used to come to work, and Henry went to one of the Ivy League schools, and before he studied engineering, he studied history. And Henry would tell me, you know, he'd come to come to work all the time. He would tell me about all these black folks out of black history. And one of the first people he told me about was Henry O. Flipper. And as you can read, in 1877, Henry O. Flipper became the first African-American to graduate from the West Point Military Academy. Now, when Cody was telling me this, you know, I was just kind of looking at him, you know, because he was looking at me like, of course you know this, Carl. And I'm like, right. But I was intimidated that this white man knew more about my culture than I did. And I decided it was time for me to learn. It was time for me to learn who I am. So this was literally the beginning of it. And so the first calendar that I did of Black Heritage Day, and I'm very proud of it, it was like a desktop calendar. You just pull the pages off of it. And people say, oh, I don't want to pull the pages and destroy it. So make it spiral. So that was the second edition. And then I added a little color to it. That's the third. Okay. So here's what we're going to talk about tonight. So, you know, and look, I spent more time on my introduction than I really wanted to. So hold on. This is going to be quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my jacket off because I'm getting hot already, Mr. Chairman. So we're going to be quick with this. But here's the topic. Now, obviously I can move a lot quicker through the history of Black History Month because I think our master and mistress of ceremony did a phenomenal job. From first to first, they whitewashed him out. All men created equal. When Jefferson wrote that, did he really mean all men? That's a big question. The Confederate flag. That flag's still flying in my state of Mississippi, still flying in South Carolina. Okay, is it cool that they still fly? If not, why? You know, I don't know. Reparations. Oh, some people say, oh, they don't owe us nothing. Nigger. 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 The nigger in me is dead. Let's talk about it. So, all right, now, you can tell me which of these you want to talk about. Or let's just do a card. Let's do a potpourri.
Last one. Last one. The last one.
Okay, here we go. It's going to be quick. We ain't got to worry about the history of Black History Month because they already told us all of this about how the first observer of Negro History Week, they changed the word Negro to the word Black. It became Black History Week. Then in the mid-70s, it became Black History Month. But what they didn't tell us is why did he choose the second week in February. And part of the reason why I think it's important for us to do this is because as black folks, sometimes we have a tendency of blaming our brothers from another mother, but damn near everything. I remember when our comics used to blame white folks for February. They used to say, what? They gave us what? Oldest and shortest month out of the year. Well, they ain't gave us nothing. This is us giving us this. But because we didn't know our history, we would just blame everybody for it. So I think it's important on the real to blame it. Now, Brother Poet did tell you that that Lincoln was born in February 12th. The other brother that Carter G. Woodson wanted to pay honor to was Frederick Douglass. But Frederick was like many slaves. He didn't know the exact date of his birthday, but when he was a child, his mother used to call him My Little Valentine. So Frederick said, well, shit, that's going to be my birthday. So So the question now becomes, so why should we as blacks, or why should the world study African American history? And I'm sure that if I went through the audience, there's a number of reasons that we can come up with of why we should do it. But I'm going to tell you why. Because the world, amongst other things, this country has done a damn good job of just whooping us down and making the rest of the world think that we are less than And she's done it all through her history now, but she's done it. And that's why we have to become the griots of who we are. This is a book that another brother from another mother, a white man, he was my neighbor. He gave me this book. It was like an Encyclopedia Britannica. It had a little bit of everything in it. Well, this book was copyrighted in 1891. And he gave me this book. I was like, damn, this is kind of deep. So I'm kind of going through it. And this is one of the pages I run across. This page is called Characteristics of the Races, where they identified man into 5 categories. Now, if you just look at the page, who cares? Let's take a closer look at this page. Because, see, this is about definition. Definition is important. Let me give you this rule. He who defines rules. Let me say that to you again. He who defines rules. See, if I accepted the definition from somebody that black does not look good on me, I would never wear black when I look damn good. The same with your history. If you accepted the definition that as a people you've never done a damn thing, you would act as a people who've never done a damn thing. This country would not be yours. You wouldn't act like this is your country. You'd act like a visitor. That's what I was doing all the time before I understood my history in this country. But once I understood, Mr. President, Seattle became who? That was my time. I own Seattle. Hold up, everybody on the freeway, stop. I got something I want to talk to you about right now. I own Seattle. No more acting like a visitor. Now, so, hey, this definition. Look at this intellectual and social definition of the white or the Aryan. Look at this. It's possessed with the highest grade of intellect, endowed with the greatest faculties of all the races, entertaining knowledge. And as knowledge is power, this brother is also the most progressive. Has exercised the greatest and most continuous influence on the affairs of mankind, at least within the historic period. And he shows no symptoms of decay, but daily, contrary to that, he's achieving new progress. Now, you can say what you want to, but this is a hell of a definition. So you know I couldn't wait to see what he said about the black or the Ethiopian people. He said, you're rather primitive than intellectual, or perhaps owing to a lack of opportunity, or maybe as much as any innate deficiency. But look, with a marked natural talent.
Oh my God.
Yo, that is fucked up. Huh? Yeah.
Have been and still are mostly Southern barbarianism, scarcely be considered a progressive race, have exercised no influence upon the progress of humanity. Okay, check this out. Now you hear that? Wow. Whoa. Okay, honestly, when I was in your seats, when I was in college, let's assume that a white person said this to me. I can't argue with him. What did I know about my history that I could refute this? I just told you I couldn't give you 100 words about the black experience. Was it my fault as a little black child? No. Where did they teach me? And my mother and father, they didn't know. They knew orally. Where did Rowan Junior High School teach me that? Where did Brown Elementary teach me? Where did Lanier High School teach me? Where did Mississippi State academically teach me about who I am as a black man? I knew nothing. I couldn't refute it. I might not have felt good about it, but I couldn't argue. I couldn't. That was then. This is now. Now, let's look at current definitions. This is a quote from the book of Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones is a professor at the University of Washington who's one of my mentors. Phenomenal man. He wrote a book called 40 Acres and a Mule, The Rape of Colored America. In this book, he pulls a quote from Richard Nixon. He says, "But now I must stop and turn to the racially explosive diaries left behind by H.R. Haldeman, Chief of Staff for the late President Richard M. Nixon. Parts of the tape, the 1969 entries, were broadcast on ABC's Nightline, where President Nixon said, 'There has never in history been an adequate black nation, and they are the only race for which this is true.' This man is the President of the United States, the 37th president. 7 presidents ago was saying this. This man is the most powerful man, arguably, in the world. Which, for the record, let me say this about Barack. You understand that Barack is the 2nd most powerful black man to have ever walked the planet, second only to Jesus Christ?
That was good. Yeah.
America is one of the greatest civilizations to ever grace this planet. Ever. America. And if you don't think so, go from America to any other country. Baby, it just don't compare. This country is, piss this country off and watch us be like, look, don't say no truth. Don't piss us off. Okay? We are the greatest nation to ever grace this earth. And they are what family? First family. Now I know damn well there's more than one person understands that. Let me say that again. They are what family? First. He's the first man. She the first lady. He the first man. The dog gonna be the first dog. That was powerful. Okay, check this out. History is important, and I told you it's about definitions. Now, you got to be careful, because if you're not careful, you take that history right away from you, steal it from you. Now, here is 5 textbooks that I looked at. One of them, 1863, one of them, 1950, one of them, 1994, 1990, and 2000. The closer you are to an event in time, the more likely you are to know the truth. The further in time you get away from the event, the more distorted the story becomes. Okay. No more subjectivity from Brother E.D. Him gonna prove you. The first person to die in defense of this country was who? Some of y'all, see, some of you know something. March 5th, 1770, an incident called the Boston Massacre. Now, look at the books. Okay, 1770. Which of these books is closer to 1770? I'm gonna tell you something. If I was grading y'all on class participation, I would fail damn near all of y'all. This is a good roll. This is a good roll right here. This is my roll. Y'all watch this roll here. This book in 1863. Now, what does the book in 1863 say? Christmas Addicts was what? This is the word we're going to pay attention to. He was what?
First.
Damn it, all y'all work, everybody got at least a C right now. 1950, he was what? First. He was the first to fall. Once again, first. Watch me in 1994. Okay. Watch him in 2000.
He's not there.
He's not even there. 25 people.
Okay, look. So some of y'all don't quite get it, so check this out. A picture is worth what? Okay, this is the picture in 1950 when they said Christmas addicts was the one to die. Does the picture match the words? Yes. Look at the picture in 2000. Now watch the book, watch everything. Listen, Chip. He behind the smoke waits. Damn dog.
Oh shit.
Look. See? So imagine family, that this is the history book you're learning from. No, you ain't know nothing. And this impacts not just one group of people, but it impacts another. Because the folks who read it, who believes this, that's different from us, they feel like, well, shit, y'all didn't do nothing. So they're being diseased too. So both parties are being sick here. Okay? Now, see it like this. Now, the Three Musketeers. How many of you have ever seen a movie with the Three Musketeers? Who are the Three Musketeers? Keith the Sullivan, Oliver Cat. Right? Look who wrote it. Alexander Dumas, a black man.
No.
He was writing about his father, who was a black general in Napoleon's army. So see, Keith the Sullivan and Oliver Cat should have been there. It should have been like Arsenio and me. Look. Andromeda. What kind of woman is Andromeda?
The ugly one?
Okay. She's a sister from another mother. Okay. But read what it says. Andromeda. She was the daughter of Cepheus and Cassiopeia, the king and queen of Ethiopia. Some of them cats still don't. I'm not even going to explain it. And it still happens today.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before.
Remember Katrina?
Yeah.
A young man, a young black man is looting. The two white folks are fighting.
Oh, that is fucked up.
I saw that before.
I'm just talking about history. Never let nobody else define your history. That's all. That's why people fight so much for it. Okay, check this. Folks say no, somebody said yes. Okay. They said no because he had slaves. Who said yes? Okay, tell me why. Why do you think Thomas Jefferson meant black folks are created equal when he wrote that? What did he mean? No, you are very popular.
Go ahead.
He actually with his own personal place, he tried to create as many as he could. I actually saw a documentary on it.
What he's saying is true. However, that don't prove the point. You know, I own slaves, but when I die, y'all can go free. So what, now I'm a good man? Okay. All right. This is why I'm going to tell you that when he wrote the statement, and this is the problem, when you compromise off your truth. I watch folks compromise off their truth because their friends push them to the other side. Compromise is a dangerous thing. I never compromised the truth. When black folks came to me and they was, well, Carl, yeah, I was late for work, but my butt, get up out of here. I ain't defending that. Now, if you right I'm down with you, but if you wrong, raise up off me. Ain't no amount of compromise gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit in no boardroom and compromise truth. I don't believe in black justice or white justice. I just believe in justice. Okay, family? So, what I'm gonna tell you is this. He was a wrong brother, but his philosophy was correct. And we probably wouldn't have this issue in this country if we had not compromised. Look at what he said. Now, this statement, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. This is at the top of the Declaration of Independence. Now, I looked at the Declaration of Independence, and what was the Declaration of Independence? Well, it was just that. A document to declare our independence from who? Britain, England. So he was talking about what the King of England was doing to the colonists. And he said, let me write this document for the whole world to see what I'm doing. So see what he says? He has refused. He has forbidden. He has refused. Who is the he? The King of England. He has waged cruel war. This is an omitted passage. He has waged cruel war against human nature itself, violating his most sacred rights in the persons of a distant people who never offended him, captivating and carrying them into slavery into another hemisphere. He's writing against slavery. When he, Thomas Jefferson, sat down in that room and he penned the original draft of the Declaration, he was writing all the things that were wrong. And he said, this is wrong. This is in the same document that starts with all men are created equal. He's not saying we got equal ability. What he was saying is we got equal access to our rights, our inalienable rights. That's what he was saying, family. Did he mean us? Yes, but this country compromised. Oh, we compromised. Let me show you. He wasn't the only one that believed that. Look at the state constitution. Maryland. What was happening in this country in 1776?
Revolutionary War.
The little revolution going. Remember 9/11? Remember when 9/11 going? What was the atmosphere in America? You saw more American flags than you had ever seen in your life. We was all patriotic. We was under attack. We became one. For once black folk, we were one. The Muslim community was on the outside, but they was on the When somebody attacks your family, you and your brother in a fight, but they attack your brother, yeah, I might not like him and hit him, but don't you hit him. This country got patriotic. We was patriotic as hell back here in 1776. Look at the Constitution when it came to voting. Tell me right now, the right in the people to participate in the legislature is the best security of liberty, the foundation of a free government. Remember, we're talking inalienable rights, the rights to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. They're denying us our rights. Who ought to vote? See, right now, yeah, Carl, but listen, every man ought to have the right. Oh, pattern property. Oh, my bad. Let me back up and go all the way back to the first colony, Jamestown. Excuse me. See, the first blacks came to this country in what year? 1619, family. 1619. On that ship, there were 20 blacks. There was a man named Anthony. There was a woman named Isabella. They fell in love, them two. That was your first black love story. I love the basketball. I watched it last night. There was Anthony and Isabella. Them two had a child named William. William was born free. Anthony and Isabella was considered indentured servants. Ultimately, they worked off their servitude, and they too were free. There were whole free communities of black folks. Did you hear what him said? There was whole free communities of black folks. The head white system, we participated in that. Black folks had white indentured servants. Oh, shit. I'm thinking your world upside down. Go back, you can find the land records where black folks paid to have white folks to come over because the white folks who was coming over, many of them was coming out of England's jails. Australia was founded as a big penal colony. Well, before she shipped all her prisoners to Australia, she used to ship them over here. And we paid for some of them to come over. We bought the rights to their labor. And when you bought the rights to the labor, you got 50 acres of land. All the records are real clear, so don't get this confused. Hold up, Brother E.D., that's their property. Damn it, we had that. When we first came to this country, we could vote, testify in court. We had all the rights of anybody else. But let me show you how every meant every. Because see, when the American Revolution was going on, Pub was scared. This is 1851. The war is over. America is now a new country. The same exact article in the Constitution of the state of Maryland. And if you don't believe me, you go look them up, write them down. Now, who got the right to vote now?
White.
See, I'm trying to show you every meant every. If every didn't mean every, why you got to get all specific here? Okay? Hold on. Look at Delaware. Delaware was so pissed off and scared about that thing. I said, look, from now on, don't you bring no slaves here. All there from Africa down, don't bring them here, don't bring them here, don't bring them here. And who ought to be able to vote shall be held by the inhabitants in the respective country. Everybody can vote. Now look at Delaware. Look at Delaware after the war. Why have I got to get all specific right here? See, they changed up. They compromised. Huh? But now Georgia was different. Georgia said, look, we're not playing that shit now. We're going to play it there. So in Georgia, we don't give a damn what kind of war going on. The only people who vote are all male, white, at the age of 21. You take that diversity stuff off somewhere. But then, after the Civil War, her had to change in order to come back to the Union. So, this is just a simple piece, but we got to get on. I got to get to this Confederate flag thing. Should she fly, yes or no? Mississippi?
No.
I got 10 minutes. Can you give me 10 minutes? 15 minutes? 15? 10 or 15?
20.
20. Okay. Dismiss class. Yes or no on the flag? Should they fly the Confederate flag? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
Racist.
Why is it wrong?
It's the Ku Klux Klan flag.
All y'all can get an April class participate. Okay. You got the answer? Who got the answer? Okay.
Symbolism.
Okay, symbolism. Because of what it symbolizes. That's not enough.
It's the representation of the states that seceded from the Union.
Why did they secede from the Union?
Because they weren't willing to release their slaves.
So are you telling me, I just want to be sure. I want to be sure. Are you telling me that that war was fought over slavery? No. It was fought over the economics of slavery. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm going to ask this question again. Was this war fought over slavery? No. Okay. All right. All right. Why did we go to Iraq?
Oil.
What makes you think that we were not so valuable that this country would rip itself apart over us? this war was fought over slavery. You're right. When they started talking about economics, you're damn right. We were the economics of the South. When they talk about states' rights, yeah, that's what the Lincoln-Douglas debates were about. Popular sovereignty. Not popular sovereignty over having apples in Washington, but popular sovereignty over whether or not the people should choose whether or not slavery should exist in their lands. Slavery was the issue, family. Oh, wait a minute. No more subjectivity from the professor. Let him do what he's been doing all night and show you the facts. Who was the president of the Confederacy? That's good. Now, here comes the big question. Who was the vice president? Who? He close, him said Alexander what? Alexander something. I'll take the S off the something. Alexander Stevenson. That's who it was. Now, do you think the vice president of the United States, the vice president of the Confederate States of America, do you think he knows why they seceded from the Union? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got a better damn idea than any of us sitting in this room. So let us go back and hear what him said as to why they decided to leave. See, he wrote a document called the Cornerstone Speech, delivered March 1861. What year did the Civil War start? 1861. Ain't no damn coincidence. In this speech, he said, hold on, family. Let me make sure y'all understand why we rolling up out of here. I'm paraphrasing. So he says this. He says, the new Constitution, when he says the new Constitution, what is he talking about? He's talking about the Constitution of the Confederate States of America. We got two constitutions now that we talk about. The Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Confederate States. All right, here we go. The new Constitution, Confederate, has put at risk forever all the agitating questions relating to our peculiar institutions. African slavery as it exists among us, the what? Of who? The proper status of Negro in our form of civilization. Now that we have completely established that the black man is in his proper place in our civilization, he says, this was what? The cause of the late rupture and the present revolution. What revolution was going on in 1861? What was the late rupture? Secession. I'm going to tell you something. 1 + 1 is 2, even in New York. Okay. You know what? I know my chairman said, I told you don't talk about Brooklyn while you're in Brooklyn. My bad, Mr. Chairman. Just stick to teaching. Okay. Now, look what he said. He said Jefferson, in his forecast, had anticipated this as the rocket bomb when the old Union was split. Then he goes on and he says this. But whatever the prevailing ideas entertained by him and most of the leading statesmen at the time of the formation of the old Constitution, worked out the enslavement of the Africans was in violation of the laws of nature. It was wrong. Principled socially, morally, and politically. So you got a known racist who telling you, let me make sure you understand. The black man in our civilization, in our new government, should be a slave. When they wrote the old Constitution, he said the leading statesmen, they all knew it was wrong, and they knew it was wrong what? Principally, socially, morally, and politically. I said, that's what I said. Now he gets to the crescendo of his symphony. He says, our new government is founded upon exactly the opposite ideas. Its foundations are laid. Its cornerstone. What's the cornerstone, civil engineers? That's the rock upon which you build a building. He said the foundations are laid. the world to be based upon this great physical, philosophical, and moral truth. Now, so when you want to argue against the Confederate flag, take your emotions, take your subjectivity out of it. All you got to do is take the greatest of them fools and then tell them, well, let us go read the Cornerstone speech by Alexander Stephen, and we'll find out what they was thinking. But then go further in your dialogue. Go further in your research. Let's prove what he said was true. He said, Jefferson knew that this was wrong. Let's read Jefferson. Jefferson said this: I advance the therefore as a suspicion on that blacks, whether originally a distinct race or made distinct by time and circumstances, are inferior in the endowment of whites, both body and mind. Jefferson wrote that. He said, black folks, they are inferior. But then Jefferson came to a revelation. He said, later he wrote this: my doubts were the results of my personal observation on the limited sphere of my own state. In layman's terms, he's saying this: based on what I saw in the state of Virginia, I just thought that black folks was inferior. He said, where the opportunity for the development of their genius were not favorable. Well, how the hell do you not look at black folks in Virginia and don't look down on them when they had us in chains and shackles, no education, no nothing? He said, now that I see that and I think about it, he said, and those of exercising is still lesser. He said, I expressed them therefore with great hesitation. He said, so I looked at them and I didn't believe that they were my equal. But whatever be the degree of their talent, it is no measure of their rights. He said, so what if you can't speak like I do? Because I never taught you English. So what if you can't write like I do? Because you never went to the finest schools. It ain't got nothing to do with them rights that God gave you. Damn! That racist, he was getting me interested in some more. So I went a little deeper. He said, Jefferson, I found this statement. Jefferson said, and can the liberties of a nation be thus secure when we have removed their only firm basis of conviction in the minds of people that these liberties are a gift of that they are not to be violated but with his wrath. Indeed, I tremble for my own country when I reflect that God is a what God? Just God. That his justice cannot sleep forever because Barack will be president. A revolution of the wheel of fortune in exchange of situations is among possible events. Are you feeling Jefferson? Jefferson saying this ain't right, family. God, I tremble because God is a just God. Then he said, not only Jefferson, he said the leading statesman knew. I said, what? We already, look. Okay, we read Jefferson already. George Washington, slave owner, first president, leader of the country. I hope when he convinced me these observations that I wish to hold the unhappy people who are the subject of this study in slavery. I can only say that there's not a man living who wishes more sincerely than I do. George, cut that out. Than I do to see some plan adopted for the abolition. George didn't let him go. John Jay, do you know who John Jay was? Him was the first U.S. Supreme Court justice. John said it is much to be wished that slavery be abolished. The honor of the states, as well as justice and humanity, in my opinion, loudly call upon us to emancipate these unhappy people. Marcus de Lafayette, you know who Marcus was? The French general. He said, in the cause of who? My black brethren. This is insane. Look at me and Frank. Emancipation, attention to emancipate black people. It is therefore to be hoped to become a branch of our national police. John Adams. You remember John Adams? Remember Sinking? Was that the movie? I'm a star. Sinking, that's his name. I'm a star. I'm a star. John Adams is the president who represented him, and the U.S. Supreme Court argued his case. These are leading men who, remember, who told us, who gave us a hint that they was going to say this? Alexander Stevens, remember, he told us. Then he said, the new government, well, they different too. So let us take a look very quickly. I got to move to the end. Got 2 minutes. Okay. Article 1, Section 2, Part 3 of the Constitution. Okay, people are going to argue. They're going to say, you know what? Okay, all right, y'all was enslaved. But there was slavery going on in the country long before America did. True. But here's the fundamental difference, people. There has never, in the history of mankind, ever been a form of slavery as inhumane as American slavery. No form of slavery ever moved the slave out of the human equation, except American slavery. And you can read it in Article 1, Section 2, Part 3 of the United States Constitution. You can argue with Brother E.D. if you want, but go argue with one of the most sacred documents in the history of this country. Your argument is not with me. I'm just your messenger, family. And it states right there, representative and direct taxes shall be apportioned among these several states, which may not include 3/5 all other people. Who are they talking about? 3/5 all other persons. Whenever you confuse, remember what Alexander Stevens said. Oh, their leading statesmen, they tried to be ambiguous. They weren't quite clear of the situation of black folks. But us, family, we very different. We're going to put it right here up front. 3/5 all what? Oh, no. See, you're thinking that's the only, oh, that's a little trivial piece. Oh, really? Let us look at Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. The migration or importation of such persons in any of the states now existing shall be properly admission not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808. But a tax or a duty may be imposed on such importation not exceeding $10 for each person. What do you think they're talking about? You're not sure? Then go to the Constitution of the Confederacy. The importation of Negroes. So see, when you go and listen to Alexander Stevens, you can go through everything he said. How the two places different. Okay, let me finish up. You know what? I was going to talk about reparations, but I'm running out of time. So cut it out! Somebody got time to be all night with y'all. What's wrong with y'all? Okay, all right. Here's my argument for reparations. Y'all just make me sick sometimes. I swear I love y'all. Check it out. Okay. There are people who argue, that we shouldn't get reparations. And then they say, well, you know what? What you gonna do? You gonna go find some corporation? Now I read Randall Robinson's book, and look, I'm not down on Brother Robinson. Love the brother, love his scholarship, love his spirit. Professor Ogletree at Harvard, I sat in his lectures and I listened to his argument about reparations. And all of them have made what I consider very emotional arguments. Very emotional arguments. They talked about the harm to the family, and I get that, but how do you measure harm to the family? How do you measure that? You get what I'm saying? So let me move to a more objective argument. Now, I went to hear, and I don't know why I can't, who was the guy who said 12 reasons why black folks shouldn't get reparations? What's that boy's name? Horowitz. I was in a lecture series one time with Horowitz, and the hall was 3 times the size of this, and people were loving it. And David Horowitz came up with 12 reasons why black folks shouldn't get reparations. And these folks were loving it, like, oh yeah, David, go get them. And David said, look, first of all, slavery ended in 1865. Okay? Slavery ended over 150 years ago. Ain't nobody who was a slave still alive. Them the slaves all dead. Y'all are generations, of slaves. Okay, these people over here, we came from Europe, man, ain't had nothing to do with no damn slavery. Why? I'm going to come over here, over 150 years later, I ain't did nothing. Why am I going to pay for this? And then their descendants. So this is the descendant. So Horowitz's argument was this. unless you can find an entity who was alive during slavery, who you can prove benefited from slavery, and that entity is still alive today, having benefited from slavery, you shouldn't have to pay. So people say, well, corporations should pay. Well, which corporation? Microsoft? See, yeah. Your argument, okay, you might be sassy in your argument, but your argument holds no knowledge. I don't know how to describe your argument. But then check out him's argument. See, him went to the Constitution. Article 1, Section 9. The migration or importation, pay attention to the word importation. They were never talking about migration. The migration or importation of such persons. Who are such persons? Slaves. But a tax or duty may be imposed on such what? They didn't tax migration because they weren't talking about migration. A tax on such what? Not exceeding $10 for each person. Okay, here's my argument. Who is the only entity in this country that can collect the tax? Who? The United States government. The United States government ratified the Constitution of the United States in 1788. Is that same government in 1788 that collected the tax on every slave that was imported into this country? Is that same government alive today? She's still alive. She's still alive, David. So when I gave this to Horowitz, Horowitz looked at me like a deer in the headlights. He was. I said, David, you told me if I could find an entity that was alive yesterday that benefited from slavery. I said, David, this isn't my belief. I said, that's the Constitution of the United States, Article 1, Section 9. David, that's the Constitution. That ain't called Mack. The government that collected that tax, America, her property from one of the most horrible trades in the history of mankind. She profited from it. Shouldn't her crime go unpunished? Hell to the no! No! This is why I like my Jewish brothers and sisters. I don't give a damn. They gonna chase Nazis to the world end. And now listen to me. Listen to me. Because I'm not laughing about that piece. If you had the visions of what happened in concentration camps, I would chase their ass too. And I wouldn't stop. It'll be 400 years. I'm like, somebody's still here. So that's the same vengeance that we got to go after this country. Time don't erase your crime. How many millions of lives were negatively affected by her barbaric treatment of a people? And she didn't know better? The leading statesman told you she knew better. So then they say, well, Carl, how do you figure out how much they owe you? I said, God damn it, don't play with me. Remember that? Everything with P times 1 plus I to the calculation. Now, family. That came from. Now, I know the Constitution said up to $10, but we just gonna charge them the whole $10. Now, I went to Africa. When NSBE went over to Ghana, we went to the slave castle. I looked at, and that's a small number. Now, in all honesty, because I don't want nobody to take it and go. Well, see, there goes his credibility. 12 million slaves were not imported to the country. I would agree with that statement. But that's a fraction of what was lost from the mother continent because of America's participation in slave trade. That's a fraction of what was lost. So I just took the 12. But in all honesty, you would look at, and you can go back and look at the census, go look at some of the earlier census, and we can come up with that number now. But don't think that 12 million is just some number I pulled out the air. Oh no, him ain't playing with you. This is serious. Now the 6, I was kind. I ain't charged that MasterCard Visa interest rate like 21% what them banks doing. Bank of America is on their ass. I just went with 6%. Now, from 1708 to 2009, because they're still ticking. That's more than 218 years. That's more like 221 years. That's just this is an old calculation. But we're going to look at the number just the same. Okay? Come on, man. What's the number? 6 what? Trillion. 218 billion. 127 billion. 200,000. It's a what? Oh, my God. All right, I got 2 minutes. One of the things I want you to walk away with is this. Our history is so extensive, and as painful as it is, it's very fun. I've had fun journeying through Black history. And for my brothers and sisters who are different from me in this room, understand this, I am not upset with not one white person. I'm not. Somebody in a brother's family was tipping, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to understand something. I don't want no person who is white in this room, I don't want you to feel bad at all. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. Number 1, because the truth of the matter is, black folk, we did not get our freedom because we were the only ones fighting for our freedom. There were people who didn't look like us, who fought and died for us. Now the story I started with my daddy was, my dad used to say all the time, well, I'll be John Brown. He used to say it so much I thought John Brown was a black man. John Brown was a white man who not only gave his life, but his son's life. They was like, we can't stand slavery so much, damn it, me and my son, we're going to die for this shit. This ain't going to happen in my lifetime. And that white man gave up his life for us. You can go down through that. Even our great hero, Brother Malcolm. Remember when Malcolm bleeded, all white folks were what? Blonde hair, blue-eyed devils. And then Malcolm went to Mecca, he got on his knees and he started praying to Allah. And Malcolm looked to his right, and he saw that same blonde-haired, blue-eyed person praying to Allah. He looked to his left, he seen that same blonde-haired, blue-eyed brother and sister praying to Allah. Malcolm knew that his teachings had been in error. So I don't want nobody walking up out of here thinking that all white folks are bad. And I don't want none of my white brothers and sisters walking up out of here thinking that I blame me for what went down. This was a lesson in our history so that we can all go back and just appreciate it a little bit. And this was a very brief, this was so brief. I don't mean to insult our history with this, and I certainly don't. And I hope you've been learning something tonight. I really do. But I want to say this, hold on, I want to say this. The beauty of history is that it helps you to change. It has helped me to be a much better man. I remember when I was a child, I used to hate myself. Nigga, nigga, anybody in this room ever used the word nigga? Why? Why do you use it? Why? Why?
I was raised in religion, it didn't have a meaning to me.
So you never used it?
I used it, but it didn't have a meaning to me.
Okay, so you don't know why you use it.
I just conversation.
No, look. Chairman, the highest ranking official in NSBE. Have you ever used it?
Yes, sir.
Still use it? He who is not sin, cast. I love you, Mr. Chairman. Y'all cut that out. Mr. Chairman, why? My water, please. Mr. Chairman, why do you use the word?
Because growing up, it has been socially acceptable with my friends. So it's
My friends. My friends taught me. See, I don't know why I use it. My friends taught me. My girlfriend taught me. My mama taught me. Girl, leave them niggas alone. My community taught me. Everybody taught me except white people. All black folks taught me this. So I got to thinking about it. I am the executive director of the cream of the crop, Sister Johnson. When I first came to NSBE, all of that niggas, they would bar everybody. Every party. Oh, I think I went too far. Hold on. NSBE, I went to the national convention. I heard niggas so many times, I was about to cry. I was about to cry, Sister Johnson. This is the cream of the crop, the best of the best. I want to purge you. I do, I promise you. Because I purge me. Outside of teaching, I never use this word. Outside of teaching, never. And let me tell you how serious I am with it. My mama called me, and my mama was calling that nigga. I said, Mama, hold on, Mama. I said, Mama, listen. You know, I need to talk to you about that. And every time we would converse, she would nigga, well, Carl, I slip. I said, Mama, listen now, we've been going through this for about a month now. And this slip again, check this out, Mama. So that you understand, I'm not the little boy no more, Mama. I'm a man. I'm growing into a man. And if you keep that up, Mama, you're going to lose me. I promise you all. Over that. Never again has my mother would, never has my mother ever used that word since that day. My wife, I'm married, right? My wife was from Florida State. We got married. I saw her at the NSBE conference. 2 hours after I saw her, I said, I'm married that girl. 2 hours. I ain't lying. I was like, girl, I want to marry you. She was like, don't be playing with me. True story. I asked my wife to marry. After 2 hours, we got married. So my wife said, okay, let's do this thing. Y'all think I'm lying. And the most I ever dated a girl was 3 years. I've been married to my wife past, I'm going on 9 years. I got 2 knuckleheads. 2 boys. God gave me that sister. I ain't lying. And I laugh about it all the time because my wife, I swear my wife is the most praying woman I know. Gentle soul. And when we first got married, and I was NAACP, and I was in them streets, and I used to wake up at, I'd take a shower, I'd be in the shower just like, I'm gonna get my wife, she was worried, she was praying over me. So one day she had her hands over me, and she was, and I was laying there, and I was asleep, and I woke up, and I saw it, I was like, my wife today, she just like, you a heathen, Carl. I swear, and she never cursed. She's a good woman. So my wife came. My wife's girlfriend was what's the best man woman? What's the best man woman called? Maid of honor. Mr. Chairman, you can tell them about that shopping store we had. I was in the men's section looking for something to buy. My chairman said, Brother E.D., have you thought about looking in the women's section? True story, huh? Okay, but check it out. So the maid of honor came up from Florida to Seattle. Now that's an all-day trip. That's 12 hours. She came up to our house. And we sitting in the room and we talking. And she started that N word. And boy, my wife looked at me like, and I'm like, well, this is a maid of honor. It's a girlfriend. They grew up together, been together forever. So, she keep talking to her. I said, come on, sister. Now, you know how I feel about the word. Come on, now. Where she is. And so we argued. We debated. I tried to teach her. Then I realized, you in my damn house. Now, I done tried to be logical with you, but I do believe this. Reason and stupid, they cannot converse. So I looked at him after a good try, brother CEO. I tried, I swear, I promise you I tried. But then I just said, you know what? Okay. I said, let me tell you something. I said, now you welcomed in my house. But if you decide you want to bring your muddy shoes and filth and smoke in my house, when I don't do that. When you want to do that, and you want to slip again, you can slip your ass right up out of here. And I said, honey, I'm going to the horse track. And I left and I went to the racetrack. When I came back, nobody was in the house except my wife. She said they left. I said, well, Jimmy, you know, I know that's your girl. How you feel about it? She said, I'm with you, baby. I said, I'm glad you said that, chick, because I'll put you on the plane.
That's the thing.
So I take a hard line against it. And the reason I take a hard line against it is because when I look at the picture, this is how I purge myself. I remember sitting at home when I was going through my studies, and I just looked at how many brothers and sisters, the last title that they ever heard was the term nigger. And it just made me cry. I swear, it was painful. Very painful. How do you do that to a man's life? How do you beat a man like that? To turn his back like that? There was this story that Walter White, and Walter White is the second black executive director of the NAACP, and I know what you're thinking, oh, there's Carl. No. He's a black man. So he described what he called the most barbaric act in the history of humanity. So he went down to Valdosta, Georgia, and took this black woman, Mary Turner. A mob had killed her husband. And she cried out at the injustice of the act. And she was 8 months pregnant. And he said that they took this black woman into the woods and they doused her with motor oil and gasoline and they set her on fire. And they said they put a rope around her neck and they poured up the tree. You could hear her neck crack and pop. And after the fire burned, she was still alive. And a man walked up with a knife while she was hanging there, and he carved her open from her womb up. Belly split wide open, and the unborn fetus fell to the ground, and it was still alive, and it cried out. And this man crushed the life, crushed the skull of the fetus. See, that's what I be thinking about when I hear the music, and it's like that bitch. That's what I think about every time I pay my money and I go to a movie and it's supposed to be the black movie and everything is nigga, bitch, and hoe up in the movie. I go right back there, and when I look at that movie manager and I say I want my money back, what do you think him say? Him say, yes, sir. See, I don't support it in no shape, form, or fashion. That's what I think about. I think about the pain associated with the word. So I want you to think about it. Every time you hear it, I want you to think about it. Right? How do you do this to a child? You know? How do you do that? All the brothers, sisters, you know, how do you do this to children? Right? Bless you. How do you bomb a church with children and then make a statement? Uh-oh. How do you make it? See, I can understand Connie Lynch. He's so full of hatred. I can understand him having that mindset. But I can't understand us having that mindset with one another. If we just wake up every morning, look at the mirror, and just be sick about what we see. So that's what I love about history.